that's the joke now, and like it's been so overplayed. You know, the internet overplays its hand after a while.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's where we're at with that joke.
You're saying it's run its course, is what you're saying.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this one for an internet thing. What about those dudes that hold up the casket like to that amazing song and they're dancing?
Right.
Does that die?
No, it's not dead yet.
Oh, it's not dead yet.
Yeah, that's really funny. It's so ridiculous.
That's like my favorite right now.
I love that.
I mean, it's been out for a while, but it's legit. Like, it still makes me laugh. Like, I crack up every time I see it. So funny. Yeah. Sorry to just like hit you off the top of the head with just a random. It just like popped in my head when we were saying Ready Freddy like before.
Right. So I would say Ready Freddy too, just for context for the people. I used to live with a guy named Freddy. While I was in California a couple of years ago, and he was one of the best dudes that I ever met, and just a really fun guy. So I'd knock on his door. His door was right next to me. We were roommates, and I'd be like, "You ready, Freddy?"
Right. Yeah, these sayings, man. Like, just because we're we come from a place where you might say Ready Freddy or call somebody like a Debbie Downer or something like that. Like, if your name is Fred and you're actually ready, like, that's cool. Like, that's like, I don't mean that in any type of way. I just think that's a random and funny thing. But yeah, John, what's good? What's going on with you, bro? How you doing tonight?
What I'm doing is I'm halfway through Uncut Gems. Stopped it for the podcast, so I'm going to give halfway takes on that movie later in the pod.
Okay, yeah, whatever you want to do tonight. You tell me what we're doing.
We're all flow, but let's tell the people where we're at first.
Oh, right. True. I mean, this is the Coldest of Takes podcast. Welcome back to another episode, another installment. Happy to be here. As always, we go coast to coast. I'm one of your hosts for tonight, Mike. And then out in California is one of my best friends, John. John, tell the people where you're at. At st_Katzer and at Coldest of Takes on all podcasting places. John, tell the people where you're at.
So John J. Pat on all platforms here. Follow Coldest of Takes on everywhere that podcast can be found. I think you should also look at that. If you're looking on Spotify or looking at the podcast app, look for us to bring you the Coldest of Takes.
That's right. Another thing we got going right now is the YouTube realm. From time to time, I'll be putting up a YouTube live stream just to see what's out there. And I don't know. I recently got a comment that was like some really nice feedback. So I just wanted to say shout out to Liam for the very nice words. And as always, like and subscribe. We love to hear feedback and good feedback, negative feedback. It's all feedback. If things are pulling you a certain way, like, that's the essence. But also, we are not doctors nor professionals, as you can tell by how we start this thing. But we're all just happy to be here to just talk and hang out. And it's basically just an environment where I'm talking to one of my guys, and we're just hanging out and we're buds. And it just so happens that John's out in California, and that's like really far away. And yeah, so that's basically the premise. And yeah,
like I got another good premise for this podcast for people who are now tuning in. I want you guys to know that the only thing we want this to be is like, remember all those good conversations you have with your friends at the bar, over dinner, over hanging out at their house.
Right, like by the fire in the middle of the night, on the porch.
At a golf match, whatever you gotta do, this is what we try to replicate is that conversation with your friends. And remember that it's funny, it's insightful, it's positive, it's good stuff. And we're crack some jokes. We're gonna have some silly takes. We're gonna have some intellect conversation. That's all gonna happen within the hour, and that's what we try to replicate for the people.
Right.
Is and not even replicate it because we're not. We're just actually having that conversation.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's cool too.
If you can just relate to that at all, then you'll understand the podcast. You'll love it. Listen to it. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I got a couple of things I gotta say here.
Yeah, dude. Let's get right into it.
Your quick drop that you had today on the pod.
Right. It's interesting.
Star game. That's what I wanted to get you specifically. Star game.
Okay.
Because I remember us all playing the Star game together in Daly's pool. Shout out Daly's pool. Great pool.
All right, John. Before you get going on this story, because I'm going to give you all the time in the world. This was exactly the thoughts that I intended for you to have with my thoughts, and these thoughts are to be applied throughout the universe of this podcast. And we could all use some good reminiscing, and some good analogies, some fun little tidbits on the summertime. And John, I think you're just gonna go, and I'm take off, buddy.
All right. So let's start with the Star game, okay? Because you brought up a great point. Because it's getting hot out now, Mike. We're almost in June. We're gonna start, bringing back, pool life. Maybe not as much beach life, because pool life is very different from beach life, Mike. And that's the kind of distinction I wanted to make. Okay. Because pool life is with friends. Okay, because you have to invite friends to a pool, right? Anybody can go to the beach.
Anybody. Especially right now, apparently.
Apparently the beaches are just not. The only beaches that are closed are in LA County in California. So if you're above or below, all beaches still open. Everybody can go to them. It's fine. Which is kind of weird, but whatever.
Keep your distance.
Yeah.
Pack your mask.
It's fine.
I don't need to tell you. I don't need to say these things.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm saying you invite somebody to a pool. That means that you got to either know the person who owns the pool, or you're invited and they say bring friends over, right? So pool's a little more intimate, I would say, than the beach, Mike, right?
Right.
I think that's a pretty good point, and especially if they have the basketball hoop set up. I think it's a great point that you made on the little teaser there, was because you got to have a good hoop going up.
John, I'd like you to refer to it as like the little whisper. It was like a little whisper of yeah, because I basically whisper.
Yeah, little whisper to the people to let you know that if your friend has a pool and has a hoop, I'm dunking on them. Like, I don't care from where. I'll jump from behind it and do a windmill and dunk on it, and it's awesome. And that's the only time I get to pretend that I'm LeBron James. Okay? You know what I mean? Like, that's the best part about pool ball is, like, you could swat like Shaq, and you did to me growing up a lot. Let's let the people know, okay? Mike was always taller than me, okay? And when I brought that weak shit to the rim, like, said, no, we're not having it today. And swatted me every time right in my face. And I appreciate that. Like, I think that made me a better man overall in my later life, knowing that there was no weak buckets.
Right.
You can't have weak buckets in pool ball.
No.
If you have weak buckets in pool ball, you're not friends with the other person.
Yo, seriously though,
I honestly believe that.
And the thing that gets me that I was thinking about earlier was how different everybody's pool was that you were playing pool ball in. Now, I specifically, your pool, okay, slipperiest bottom floor ever. And so for me as a non-pool owner, and I was being invited to go swim and go play these games, yes, I may have been athletically inclined playing the sport, but it was almost like we were on an even playing level because I couldn't handle, this slippery floor. I got to get used to it.
So basically, for context for people who are listening, who obviously don't know my pool, I was fortunate enough to have an in-ground pool, and when my shallow end was very shallow, actually, it was only like 3.5 feet deep.
Yeah, it was perfect for pool ball, slippery floor. But I don't hate that. Like, don't get it twisted, John.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it was an equal playing field. So I was Steph Curry and Mike was Shaq. So Steph Curry could never take Shaq to the rim. We all know that. That would never happen. You get swatted away like it was you're a wasp or a gnat. Get out of my face. So I had to learn how to shoot. And I had to learn how to shoot on my slippery floor that we had. So I learned how to shoot, so even the playing field. But when Mike would just back me down, and go to the rim, it was over every time. So there was a very equal playing field going in where we could play a game to 11 and it would be good. And my shallow end is very shallow. It's very small, actually, to be honest. And it's like kind of a half circle, if you will. And so you got to play the angles, you got to play the banks, you got to know where your shot's at. And I think that was one of the best things about pool ball. If you play enough in anybody's pool, like for example, and I always bring up Daly because we always, went over there, and Daly had kind of a square court, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was like 4 feet tall, so it was a little taller than mine. He had grip on the floor. On the floor. So it was more of a basketball game, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, everybody's pool that you ever had growing up, you had to know the dynamics of the court.
Right. John, the thing that's interesting about your pool also, like your pool went shallow to deep, like real fast, like too.
Real quick.
I feel maybe that's how it is in most pools. I don't know. But yeah, dude, you're exactly right.
I think that was one of the best things. I think a lot of people can relate to that when it comes to, actually figuring out the dynamics of your friend's pool, the ones who had the pool. You were like, yo, I'm coming over. We're riding bikes over before we could even have, cars at that point. We're 10, 11, whatever.
Right.
Riding my bike over so we could just...
Yeah, where you could just like chill. All right, well, I kind of lost the boy right there. All right, we might have to come back. John?
Get the bank shot. Bank's open on Wednesday, bitches.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I love that.
John, I hate to tell you that. I hate to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure that whole story just didn't come through.
Oh, no.
I think we're having some network connectivity issues. So you called somebody some bitches, and I don't know if they think they got that. Like even if it's in there, I'm trying to hold on to this while saying that we have bad connection. Can you retell the story while I can hear you? Oh. This is what happens, man. So light. We're just gonna come in right where we landed off. We are recording live. I'm showing the process, I guess. This is the stream. John, what's good?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we're just gonna swing it like it didn't even happen.
Right. But what I'm saying, Mike, is when you're playing pool ball with the people, okay? You're playing with your buddies. Everybody's coming over. They all just cruise down to your house because they're on their bikes or whatever. When you're 12 and you're like, we're gonna play some pool ball for at least 5 hours, right? Doesn't matter. Gonna get some chips going, gonna have a, little action here. We're gonna play some ball, but you gotta know each other's core, right?
100%.
You have to know your friend's core
Because every court has certain strengths and pitfalls. You gotta know.
Right.
You gotta know. Another tough thing, pool ball, tough sport.
Yep.
Sounds like it should be on the ESPN The O Show or something like that.
The fact that it's not is terrible.
Because you really gotta know kind of the distance to like that step. Because the step is usually the 3 ball or the 2 ball, whatever whatever type of game you're playing. I remember, at Dailies, we would play a game where we would it was basically like a 3-point contest. You'd shoot from like a bunch of different spots, and that was always fun because it's the mini ball, but you're on the steps, you're on the different steps, you're moving around, and it's the best. But yeah, I would say another tough spot is like you got to know where the step is, especially if you're getting some pressure on you by like a couple of big boys or something, because it's not always one-on-one.
Right. Could be two on one, and you're like, where can I pass? I can't even dribble because we're in a pool.
Exactly.
So you got to be able to pass like John Stockton. You got to be able to shoot like Steph Curry. And then if you're under the rim, you got to be able to dunk like Shaq. You got to get up out of the water and dunk that shit.
Yeah.
So and that's not easy to dunk out of the water. People forget that. Like in pool ball, is you got to get out. You got to get out of the water and dunk on a 7 foot that's higher than you. You know what I mean? Like the water really is tough.
Yeah, there's definitely resistance there. There's a reason why athletes are in pools training when they're rehabbing from an injury, and even when they're not. So that's something to think about. It's tough to dribble when you're, because you got to dribble somehow. You got to move the ball, especially if you're trying to grab a.
It's like a 2-hand dribble. Too.
Yeah,
you gotta,
you're
you pump it down.
And you're swimming. It's weird.
Right.
It's tough stuff, bro.
I've always been a good swimmer, but.
Right. Well, you were a lifeguard.
Right. That's right. So I've always been a tremendous swimmer, but I say good because I didn't want to pump my own horn, but actually I was really good.
Yeah, that's why you said tremendous.
I've always been a really good swimmer, but the point is I had to be because I wasn't tall enough to be in that shallow end, getting the two-man smother team. Are you kidding me? Like the 2-man smother team, I'm out. I'm getting that ball stolen from me every time if I can't hit my guy who's underneath the hoop.
Man.
So you got to be able to pass Steve Nash, John Stockton, or even Allen Iverson. You got to be able to pass that way. And if you're not, then you have to shoot like Steph Curry, or you got to have a big man on your team. Like you got to have a tall guy. Because if you just throw the ball up, you just be like, oh, if I hit the backboard, he's gonna grab that rebound and dunk it. Sick. And the pool ball has so much more strategy than it does, I think, even street ball or, I wouldn't say the NBA, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like, you got to have more strategy in how you guys are going to get buckets.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun as hell. And it's tough.
And also, Mike, I don't want the listeners to know this.
Tell him.
Mike was pulling out Shaq numbers.
Oh, my God. You're the ultimate hype man. Yeah, you're like... Dude, I remember pool ball was being kind of tough. John, let me ask you this question. Because you alluded to like, you know, you became an even better swimmer because of pool ball. You know, it sounds to me that, you know, partially you becoming a lifeguard, you know, it's because of the foundation from pool basketball.
Right. I would 100% agree with that. I was able to, if you backed me up into a corner, I was able to do a lip turn on the really shallow pool.
Yeah, and that's like the equivalent of like nutmegging somebody.
Like, if you're backed into a corner, you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? You know, and anybody who knows swimming, like you do a flip turn, all of a sudden you're on your other side, and you're throwing the ball to somebody who's got an outlet pass, and they're just gonna sink it.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah, that's another level, bro. I would never.
Right. So that was,
of course.
And I was always short enough to do that in my shallow end, so I kind of learned it. I will tell you this: I got to shout out my sister.
Okay.
Because we would play, and she's shorter than me, but I'd go up to her one-on-one, and she would hit the fade, my friend.
Oh shit! Hit the fade like she would Kobe or something.
She would Kobe you, MJ you. You know, she'd hit you with the 1-step, 2-step, and then just lean back and hit the fade. And hey, Mike, the bank was open all day for her. All day. She knew that if she hit in between that box, that she had a shot at making that in. And Kelly used to make buckets, bro. So shout out my sister. She used to make buckets, dude. I've never seen anything like it. And she's not a basketball player. She was a lacrosse player in college. You know, but she was never a basketball player. But she used to hit the bank shot.
Bringing the energy to the pool.
Oh, absolutely. Because I used to challenge her one-on-one. And again, if she came in the paint, she brought that weak shit and swatted it out of the way. But she realized that
no
if I
praise.
could just be Steph Curry or Klay Thompson,
right?
You know?
And the game real quick.
And then be like, no, I'm gonna hit 2 from there. All right, cool. That's the way. And I think that's what the dynamics of pool game, if you will, pool basketball, which made it so much fun because it's such an equal playing field for people. And,
it really is.
And especially, like you said, the ones who are weak swimmers, they just kind of trout around, you know, and make waves. Like, no, like, I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to swim underneath. I might even swim underneath the legs and get underneath the hoop for a nice little putback.
And believe me, folks, he's done it.
I have. So I love the pool ball because I think that was the only time, like, I was ever good at basketball. Besides when, I will shout out to this, when we would lower the hoop at your house and we'd play some mini ball with the actual mini ball. Remember we had
mini balls with like Houston Rockets, any basketball team logo on it. You just be like, oh, brah, like, let's go. Yes.
Throw it out like 7.5 feet and just start dunking on people.
Start yamming.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely love it. John, let me ask you this question while we're still on pool. I want to stay on pool summer games, but let me ask you this. Do you have any recollections of people getting like bloody noses near or around the pool? Like, because I gotta imagine that'd be like a top tier bloody nose, like someone getting a bloody nose with some chlorine around, and it's gotta be the worst.
No, nobody. It never happened in my pool. I've seen it in other pools. You know, but I would say that in my pool, one of the funniest ones.
This is while you're lifeguarding, or this is at your personal pool?
Oh no! In lifeguarding, I definitely saw bloody noses in the pool.
Okay, can I get a bloody nose story? Because I definitely want to talk about that, and like in those community pools where like if you peed, it would turn a different color.
That's an urban legend, dude.
It's an urban legend.
Yeah, that's not true.
Oh, so
At
what?
least in the pools of West Springfield.
So what happens?
They just pee in the pool, man.
They just pee in the pool, and the
Nobody knows.
I thought there was some like sort of like chemical that like happened that goes on.
It's not a thing. I
mean, right. Like it's definitely not. It definitely can't be a thing, right? Because like, you know, I was gonna ask you this, like, yeah, like,
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you were probably gonna say. I was gonna say like, yeah, you know, you probably like you might have taken a tinkle in somebody's pool before. Maybe it was your own. I don't know.
I've fallen in the pool many a time and like scraped my knee maybe, you know, like before I got into the pool for whatever stupid run I was going to do into the pool and I misguided it. You know what I actually did was, you know, those really small trampolines that are about like, you know, I don't know, maybe 4 feet wide and you want to jump on them and then jump into the pool?
Yes.
Yeah, like, you know, like not the big trampolines. I'm talking about the really small.
Oh, yeah, like the workout trampoline or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I definitely took a digger before into my pool with that and scraped my knee on the side.
Ouch.
And there was, it was awful.
The blood.
And there was some blood on my knee and stuff. And but like the pool, people forget that chlorine is very much one of the best like disinfectants of all time.
Right.
Like
it cleans shit.
That's literally the best thing besides, you know, alcohol, which people are looking for right now, you know, rubbing alcohol and all that shit. But what I'm saying is, like, I've taken a digger into my pool before and bled a little bit, but the pool's so big, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Okay. I got you. Yeah. And see, you know, this is the clarification that you need.
Yeah.
You know, so for your summertime activity.
Really washes it out. Because, again, it's such a bigger mass of water than the blood. I mean, I'm not saying the water's great, but chlorine's also a disinfectant, so it's fine. I mean, it stings like hell when you get out. You know, I'm not saying it's good on you, but in terms of the whole pool, you're fine. Okay. But
it's reassuring, somewhat.
What I do like, though, is I had this one kid. I remember when I was lifeguarding at Memorial Pool at the, you know, the res there.
Yeah.
Where everybody was, and I did that for about 3-4 years maybe while I was in high school. And every summer it was great. We had a lot of fun. But there was one kid who got tripped as he was about to start his run to dive in.
Oh my God.
So he was about to, and one kid was mad at him for stealing like his M&Ms or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Like something stupid.
Right.
You know, and tripped him. And he hit his nose on the edge of the pool and did like a full, like, you know, feet overhead backflip there.
Oh my God.
Right, because he's running forward. Right?
Holy shit.
They tripped him, hit his nose, broke his nose. We had to call the ambulance and everything. I mean, he was fine. You know, it was just a kid. He was like 10. You know, and we saved him. We jumped in and got him and all that stuff. So, got him out. But I loved that as a lifeguard, to be honest, just as a selfish thing. Because then that means if there's blood in the pool, we get to close the pool down for the next 24 hours and I get paid for the whole time.
Right. Yeah. That was the other thing too about that job. Like now, like when I was doing basketball camps and like and different sports camps like that, when I was coaching them, I remember we had like some kid that like took like a dump in like the high school pool during like the pool session.
Gotta shut it down for 24 hours. You're gonna shock the pool.
Yeah, and then the other thing for outside pools was you know, thunderstorms. Like you'd be like the most hyped guy, if the thunderstorm was rolling in.
Oh, dude, you don't understand how many times where I'd walk in, so we worked like a shift that was like 12 to 8 o'clock, right? That's when the pool was open.
Right.
Okay, because it was the height of the day. And we would do swimming lessons in the morning, but then from 12 to 8, that was when the pool was open. But if you knew a thunderstorm was rolling in, oh, baby, were you not excited about it? Give me all the rain. Give me all the okay? Because nobody can come in, and I get paid to fall asleep, eat Doritos, on the I would fall asleep on the medical table that people would have, that we have there. We would fall asleep, we'd take turns, everybody gets an hour nap, and then we would just sit there and listen to music, and, we would obviously, fill the chemicals in the pool and do all that, BS.
Right, but you'd have some extra downtime. That's so cool. Have so
much downtime, and that was actually even more than just like not being lazy at work. It was like you get to know your coworkers, you get to have fun, like you get to shit about it, like, and just have a good time. And we would have a lot of fun there. Man, being a lifeguard, I will, if I have kids, dude, I will tell them that the best summer job you're ever going to have is going to be a lifeguard. Because, first of all, you get paid a lot compared to other summer jobs.
True.
Because you have to be certified and stuff to do that, right? Second is you're going to be able to just hang out a lot. Like, lifeguarding is basically like car insurance, okay? It's in case shit happens, right? My job only actually works as a lifeguard if shit happens. If not, I'm just being paid to be there. Same with insurance. Same with car insurance. I think that's a fantastic metaphor for people who don't understand what being a lifeguard is about. But you also have to know how to swim. So, figure that out between the two of them. I think it's great. But there were a lot of really fun things about being a lifeguard. I never trade it. I have a lot of fond memories of Memorial Pool. Shout out Memorial Pool. And also, my man, you're in the sun all day. You're wearing a bathing suit. You got your shirt off. You're chilling. You got your water bottle with you. You're just chilling, man. Getting a nice tan. And I don't tan. So, like, I'm throwing some sunscreen on. I was more of the lifeguard, like, in those, like, 80s movies where they'd have the white on their nose,
Mm-hmm.
And I actually did have a kid. I'll tell you this story before we move on. I had a kid with Wendy Peffercorn, someone we know.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, he Wendy Peppercorned her.
That's hilarious. He probably you probably watched Sandlot like for a week straight and then was like, oh, man, all right, let's do it.
This kid's name was actually Jamie, okay? Wendy Peppercorn the girl. Like, this kid was a great swimmer, okay? We all knew he was a great swimmer. But he saw the brand new, good-looking girl who we hired.
Right.
And she didn't get it yet. She was kind of like out of her mind. Like oh my God, I'm just thrown into this. I don't really get it. Like, can you guys help me? And we're like, yeah, we got you. And he even said to me, he goes, dude, I'm gonna go sit at the bottom of the pool.
Oh my God! All right, so you gave him the okay?
Hell yeah!
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, bro. This is the best.
Like he said to me, because so like the way it works is when you're looking at a big pool, right? You have 4 lifeguard chairs on each side, 2 shallow, 2 deep end. He said, when you're on the deep and she's on the other chair, I'm a Wendy. He even said,
I'm a Wendy Peffercorn.
I'm a Wendy Peffercorn. I was like, all right. He goes, I just want you to know that I'm going to be fine. And I was like, all right, man. He's 12, dude. This kid is absolutely going.
Yeah. If there's one thing for certain, sorry to cut you off, John. But if there's one thing for certain, the confidence level of a 12-year-old through the roof.
And this kid was a little chubbier. You know, he wasn't, a physical specimen. He wasn't like the one playing all this way. He was, let's put it this way. When he was in Wolverines football, like you were, Mike, he was a lineman, okay?
Right. And okay, and I'll throw that out there for all my pee-wee football players, for all football players through, as you get older, even up they changed the rule, like they don't do it anymore, like in high school and things like that. And I still think they do it when you're younger, when you're like really young, but you would always have like weight classes. And bro, like let me tell this side story real fast, and then we'll get back to the Wendy Peppercorn, because that is legitimately, oh my god. But dude, real quick, weight classes in football was the stupidest thing ever. So you'd play in Pee-wees, which was basically fourth grade. You had to be in like third or fourth grade or something to play in Pee-wees. Now your boy, he started playing football when he was first grade, because my dad was like a coach and I was like a tank of a child. And so I was playing football in like first grade. But I remember, because I had to go through all the years of the weight classes, was that you had to be in a certain rank if you wanted to be like a halfback, or if you wanted to be like a skill position guy, you had to hit like this number. And if you were over it by like a point, like they'd be like, nah. And it was the biggest bullcrap ever, because you could be just like a giant kid who's taller than everyone else by a foot, and maybe you're just a little bit bigger, but like you got like a cannon for an arm, or you got like a pair of legs on you, like my god. So everybody would line up. You'd have different schools or different towns all go to one school, and all the teams would be out there, and everyone would have different times to go to this one school. So like West Side and like Southwick maybe would all have to go to Agawam to get like weighed in. And you're just all there and just lined up. It was like, man, I totally forgot about that shit. It was the stupidest of all time.
Dumb as hell.
All right, anyway, back to the Peppercorn, the premiere story of the night.
So this dude tells me 12.
Wait, can I ask a question? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This dude, right? You said before we took the side story break that you love to see. You said that he was a dominant swimmer, but he was like, he was like a huskier dude. He was playing lineman, like your boy.
Yeah, he was a good swimmer, bro. I taught him swimming lessons.
Oh, so explains why he's phenomenal.
Right. He was, and for the people who, obviously who listen, who don't know, I taught swimming lessons from when I was 16 to when I was about 24. I think it was when the time I stopped. So, and I had WSI. I was all certified. I taught adults through children how to swim. I can still do it right now. I know how to teach people how to swim. It's very easy, because you just have to ask them to get over their fear of the water. And once they get over it, you can teach them the strokes. Anyway, the whole point being, taught this kid how to swim a little bit, but he was always a natural water bug. You know, like he got it at. Like he was good at it, even as a big dude. And he was like, I'm a Wendy Peffercorn, the new lifeguard. And I was like, yes. Absolutely. He goes, is it cool with you? Absolutely 100% cool with me. Like, he was like, so I'm just going to go sit on the bottom of the pool. And you know what the funny part was? He waited until our rotation of lifeguards, because you move from one stand to the next. Like, he moved to the next and waited and sat on the bottom.
Oh my!
That specific lifeguard, and it was her and I in the deep end.
Okay.
And then he had his friend start doing some BS, like splashing each other or like pushing each other into the pool, which was like not allowed. So he planned all of this. Kid's 12. Like, he was like, I'm gonna have my buddy push somebody into the pool, so you have to be distracted by that, and I'm just gonna dive in and sit on the bottom of the pool, so she has to dive in to get it. Like, this is awesome. This kid rules.
You're like, bro, when the ding dong cart rolls by later, I'll get you some fake cigarettes. Don't tell your mom.
You're getting candy cigarettes and you're getting a bomb pop from me. All right? Like, because that's awesome. So he does it. He dives in. And he's done this a million times before. He just dives straight down. He does the whole like arc dive, like jumps up as high as he can and goes as straight down as he can to the bottom. This is an 11-foot pool, okay? So it's not technically very, shallow. Like my pool, for example, for the people we just talked about with the pool ball and stuff, my pool's 8 feet. Daly's pool was about 9 feet. This is 11 feet. This is a big pool, okay? Public pool, it's a very big pool. And he just goes down there and he sits like squints, dude. I'm telling you. Just at the bottom of the pool. Waiting. And obviously I'm watching the kid because I don't want him to, for his dream to, actually die at the bottom of the pool.
Right. You got an eye on him. You gotta preface that.
But this was planned, Mike. This
right.
Was planned,
all by the brain of a magnificent 12-year-old.
Yeah, this kid rules. So he sits at the bottom of the pool, just chills, just chill. She's looking around, all of a sudden, and it was like a couple people dived in after him, right? And then the water clears, and you can actually see somebody at the bottom of the pool. So she blows her whistle. Again, this all happens within 20 seconds because that's how pools work.
Right.
And she blows her whistle, and she was like, I was like, oh my God, yes. And so she dives in, right? Saves her from the bottom of the pool. Brings him up. And he didn't do the full squints, which I think was even better.
Okay.
Because she pulled him out of the pool, okay? Which she did very well by her job. I'm not saying this girl's, anything less than doing her job. She absolutely did that. But then she pulls him out and gets him aside, and she's like, I gotta start CPR, and we're like, okay, we'll get there. We blow the whistle real hard, get everybody out of the pool. Everybody's really concerned about this. and then as she's about to do CPR, he hits her with a
oh my God.
Kisses him for the CPR.
Wait, what did he kissed her on the cheek, or did he go?
No, right on the lips when she was going to go in for CPR.
Nice. He just woke up and
he hit her with the double kiss.
Nice.
Right there, as she's doing the CPR. I dying. And all of the friends that he was with, we all knew it. And it was like he got kicked out for 2 weeks because, obviously we can't just like let that happen at the pool.
Right.
But
did you tell him that like he might get suspended?
Oh yeah, no, he knew.
Okay.
He didn't care
because he was like, bro, like I'm okay.
And I was like, all right, you're also 12. She's 17. So that's not going to happen. But I'm also like, I'm not promoting that, but also this is really going to be a funny story.
That's so hilarious, man.
I'm also, 17, 18 at the time, so I think that shit's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Was there any like older people at the pool that witnessed this?
Oh yeah, many a mom, many everybody else.
That's so funny. So goddamn funny.
And this kid was just, kid's a legend. He's an unbelievable legend. He's a legend of Memorial Pool. It was an unreal take that he did. I'm so glad that he did that. Just because he messed with the new girl. She did her job exactly. He pulled the squints. And you know what? After that, they're still friends to this day. I see them interacting on Twitter and shit.
See?
Like, they're like he pulled a move, man. He pulled a move.
Who knows? Maybe one day they'll get together.
The story, Mike, is that if you don't shoot your shot,
yeah, you'll never score.
You'll never score, my man.
You'll
never score.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And he did, and good for him.
Yep, and you'll just make up excuses for stuff.
Right, and I'm proud of him. I'm absolutely proud of him. I love the kid to this day. But that's just that was just one of my favorite stories about pools and being a lifeguard.
Man,
he pulled the squints.
Man, that's like that's so cool, bro. It's such a vibe, man. I remember like,
and all his friends too. They were like high-fiving him, cheering him as he went out. Like, oh yeah, like this kid. Yeah, he went into middle school the next day, and they're like, dude, he's in 6th grade, probably 12. I think that's 6th grade or 7th grade. You're the shit at that point.
Yeah, he was the king.
You're the man. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the king of school.
He was the man. He was a big boy. So I'm proud of him. Shout out to my big boys who listen. Shoot your shot, man.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That kid, absolute legend. Honestly, that's the best. Like, you don't realize it until later, but bro, like that was the best of times. Like all the times, like working the different camps, like we would walk the kids over to the pool, and then they would tell you, like, what they wanted to get when the ding dong cart rolled around. They would like make you watch, them do their moves. Like that was the best. John, I gotta ask you this to continue the summer pool adventures here. Now, John, I believe we might have did this like for like a birthday party potentially of yours. I want to talk about slip and slides, bro. Like, do you have any like fond memories of you barreling down a tarp or a slip and slide brand slip and slide?
So the only one that I actually have the memory of was when I was in New Hampshire. My cousins live in New Hampshire, so when they had like a downward backyard. All right, so the slip and slide was real fast. Okay, so that little like inflated ending that they had was like a launch pad for how bad you're about to burn your ass on some grass. So the only thing I remember from a slip and slide, was that we would run from the street and slip and slide almost into like trees have to, because you'd hit the thing so hard, and then you get like bucked up because you're actually like hitting the back part, which is kind of a jump, and then you just like roll your ass in the trees. So slip and slides were tough. I will say this though, what I did love, Mike, was going from my pool into a bounce house that my parents would have in the backyard, and that way the bounce house became slippery, and then you could really have some fun.
Wow. Well, yeah, that sounds like a time.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's wet in the bounce house and they're just throwing each other all over the place. You know what I mean? Like somebody's trying to get to you and you, like it's the Three Stooges, you know? And,
yeah, dude, like for real.
That's what I remember from the slip and slides and bounce house.
Yeah, dude, I had a similar one. You definitely had like a slip and slide party at your house. Like I remember specifically being at your house one time, like ripping a slip and slide. I remember this one time, similar situation to like your New Hampshire situation. I was over the Hanushas and they set up like a tarp slip and slide type thing, like behind their like big pool on their big driveway there. And that thing, it was like absolute freaking rocket ship. But then there's like 30 people with us because they're like a giant family. And so there's like all different ages of people just ripping a slip and slide, and it literally is so much fun. But then that brings me to the other thing. Now I have to ask you this too, because you have more cousins and siblings and such. Now I remember a lot of times, especially maybe at the Hanushas, where we'd all be playing in their pool, and you just start like beating up on the little kids, and I'm just like, I'm not related to them, so I'm just like, oh no, I'm not gonna like swat the shit out of you when we're playing pool ball or something like that. And then it's just like, and then Jacob, my buddy Jacob, you know him, John, obviously. He'll turn to you and be like, nah, just absolutely wreck them. And he's like, all right. And then at the same time, I'm just dealing with Jacob's older cousins, doing the same thing to me. So yeah, dude, that was the summer memory. John, any other summer pool things that we might be overlooking?
So I was always very, just to people who don't understand Star.
Yes. Star, the main attraction.
Yeah, where you stand on the diving board and you describe something, like a movie, actor, whatever it may be. You make a category and you do it.
Right.
People don't understand, who haven't had a pool, is that as soon as they take off from the shallow end, you get to dive into the pool and try to make it to the shallow end before they make it to the deep end.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right. There's various ways you can play the game.
Right. And then you get to be the king of the castle, right? And that was so much fun. And I just think that was one of the most fun games, because you would want to make it as vague as possible when you were describing stuff. But also, like, if you knew you had a good swimmer on the other side, like, you can't ruin that dive. Like, you if you dive too deep, on your dive off the diving board or from the side, then oh boy, you're in peril there, because they're going to beat you.
Right.
To the other side, because they can get sneaky. Because all they have to do is have 1 foot on the wall, and as soon as they push off, and you don't realize it, oh man, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. When it comes to trying to win that game. So, Star was great. I think there was a lot of awesome pool games in the summer, and it was put a bow on that. I think it's great for people now that we're coming off of Memorial Day, getting back in the summer, and just let them know. Remember those games, guys, because that was so much goddamn fun.
Bro, that was 50 minutes probably or more on pools.
Yes.
So like the boys are ready for summer.
Speaking of who's splashing, like,
yeah, take us away. Anchors away.
Tom Brady was splashing in the water in the match.
Oh my god, bro! I was so encapsulated by what we were just talking about. I completely forgot sports existed.
Yes,
they're on the way back, folks.
I hope so. Like, we need it. We all need it. I think it's going to heal us as a nation. We need sports to distract us from us being terrible people to each other. Let's focus on something that's so out of our own hands that you just decide that, like, yeah, sure.
Right. Bro, real quick before we get
That's why the match did that.
Right, the match definitely did that because honestly, man, since this stuff started to go down, people have become like anti versions of themselves. Like everyone's like super hyped up or like angry, like they're pent up or something, or like people are just wicked petty, or you're just in a completely different zone or something. Like it's incredible. It's incredible. But dude, like this sports, especially this past weekend with the NASCAR coming back and the match, obviously. So let's get into the match. And Tom Brady specifically, man, I would say, I want you to elaborate on it more because you're been the Tom Brady fan since day one. I think, Tom Brady more than Peyton, because Peyton, he didn't play the best, but he played more consistent, I would say, than Tom. But Tom, bro, I thought he spoke to millions of just people around the world. Like, here is, the greatest of all time at one thing, but he's just like you and everybody else somewhere else. And that is what makes him even more incredible, because we know that Tom would have, with five, he came out and said that he only played a few times. Like, Tom is probably an 8 handicap, but given the circumstances, there's more pressure on you being on live television. You're the only thing on TV. Okay. Right. If NASA and SpaceX could have a launch get scrubbed today, that basically you knew was going to get scrubbed by 12:15, and still pull over 10K people watching it on different platforms throughout the day, that's pretty telling. So the match was something that grabbed everybody, and Tom, I think, came away looking like an outright stalwart. Now, I absolutely loved everything about Tom Brady, and now I would say, like, the coolest thing you could do in golf for 2020, it's not getting a hole in one, it's not getting a hole out. Yes, those things are amazing, but probably the coolest thing you could do in 2020 is split your pants, picking out your hole out. Like that is the coolest. Like, he makes everything so cool.
And I think one of my favorites about the match, obviously I have so many thoughts about it, but do not ever talk shit to Tom Brady.
Right? The switch just flip immediately. Chuck hit him.
And people are like, oh, it was scripted. I was like, bro, have you ever tried to hit and hole in a shot from 160? No, that's not scripted.
All right, well, okay. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing about Tom. Every day, this hole out gets longer and longer. Even on the day, he had a wedge in his hand. He was only like 75 to 90 yards out. I just want to point that out. But I think that just goes with like anytime you tell a story like that, like you like, bro, like you got hype man that stuff. And I loved that news outlets were doing that like immediately after he dunked it.
And that's the thing, like Charles Barkley wasn't talking shit as much as he just told him to like make a par. That was the whole crux of it. Was like, if you make a par in this hole, I'll donate $50,000 to charity. Again, people are gonna forget that it was a match for charity, and the announcers, everybody around it was, you know, if they were talking any kind of smack, it was all gonna be. It wasn't going to be like $50,000 in Tom Brady's pocket. He doesn't need that. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was all for charity. So, when Charles Barkley said, you know, we're going to actually, like, $50,000 part of this hole. And Tom Brady was like, Eagle, bitch.
Right, and he's like, Tom, we're gonna have to start giving you some strokes.
The spin, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like he hit that and spun it. Like that's not like you or me. That's not not anybody. Like Tom Brady's still very good at.
Well, it's definitely me. Definitely.
Maybe you. All
I'm
right.
telling you, bro. He had a wedge wide open. And he was playing in the rain where the ground is soft. Like, John, you could have made that ball spin. I'm telling you, 1,000%.
But make it spin into the hole from there after being talked shit to.
Oh, not many people can do that. Not many people can do that.
Because think about the match.
Tom's the king of clutch, bro.
So think about the match. Bro.
Yes. Thinking.
Think about it overall. Okay.
Overall,
Tiger Woods was the best player on that.
Tiger from start to finish played and coached way amazing.
The best.
But Tom and Phil were the best duo for sure.
Right.
But it was all of it was amazing.
He's a better golfer than Tom.
Oh,
we know that.
Yeah, we know this.
And that's fine. But Phil was coaching Tom up, on certain things, which I really appreciate. I thought the intricacies of their duo were great because, again, Tom appreciates greatness.
Dude.
The appreciation of each other's greatness was there, and that's what made it so interesting to me. But Tom dunking one on that, and right after he's being talked shit to, is like the epitome of Tom Brady. Yeah, is he going to win all the time? No, he's not going to win all the time. He has proven that he'll win 6 out of 9 Super Bowls. That's fine.
To be in 9 Super Bowls is crazy.
Right. So, but, like, don't challenge him. Like, because he'll make a shot. He'll do that. And they lost the match, and that's fine.
Yeah, but they only lost by 1. It wasn't like it was difficult.
Tiger.
I mean, it wasn't like it was so far away.
But Tiger played so well.
Yeah, Tiger played wicked consistent. Phil was shaky off the tee from the start. He missed. It was all very telling though, because there was nobody there. They were all mic'd up, and they were all like hype. They're all premier athletes. They're all hyper focused at what they do. And even there were shots that Phil Mickelson was missing by like hairs, and he was so upset. And then like he was hitting shots out of the pine needle straws they got there in the rain, and he was hitting it like 170 yards onto the green or something.
That's absurd.
It was absurd. But Tiger played super consistent, super lights out. I like that. John, I gotta ask you this question: do you have any respect now for Justin Thomas? Because
more than I had.
Okay.
Because I thought he was a great announcer. I thought that or a great analyst, if you will. on the course, and he's a friend of Brady's. They play together all the time. And that's great. I actually think that of that crew, the Justin Thomas, the Jordan Spieth, and the Ricky Fowlers, I think Justin Thomas was the best choice out of the three of those, because I think Justin Thomas, having the low score at that course, made it more, if you're a golf fan, if you will, like that made it more, compelling.
Yeah, bro. I really enjoy. Now, if you don't know, we've talked about it on past pods and off pod in real life too. John does not really care for some of Justin Thomas's thoughts, his antics when he was playing during certain controversies that arose during previous tournaments. But anyway, during the match here, I thought Justin Thomas was the perfect pick. He went to Alabama for communications, and he had personal relationships with like 3 of the 4 guys there. And I thought him ribbing Chuck and all the analysis that he gave was he did a good job of being your buddy. Yeah, he did a good job of being your buddy, but he also did a good job of being very knowledgeable.
Right. He was critical about shots, and I like that because I again, as a novice golfer myself, like a bogey golfer, for the people who are listening, I'm a bogey golfer, so I can't criticize some kind of a professional. I just criticize him on the way he handled a lot of shit. But
right, yes.
On this,
we know.
He came off looking like he smelled like roses. I can't criticize the way he went. He was joking with them. He was messing with them. He was giving Brady shit, and I actually really love when people give Brady shit because again, if I was the GOAT quarterback, I don't know. Personally, even if I was that good at my sport, I like friends. I like people who, cut me down a peg, make me humble.
Right.
And Justin Thomas did that with Brady.
Yeah, it seemed super real, and that's what I enjoyed too about the weather. Kind of obviously, everything would have been better if it was sunny out. But I got to give a ton of props to what TNT was able to pull off with awesome. with the broadcast. But honestly, man, I think because we got that weather, we got more of a real experience. And
I think that's what and I know Tom didn't do this on purpose, Mike.
No, of course not.
He was every golfer you've ever played a golf match with, right? Your friends, family.
There was a scenario for probably 75% of golf rounds I've ever played. Maybe more, maybe 100% of golf, maybe every scenario, because Tiger played consistent for the whole time. Phil was good and bad. Brady was he was rough from the get-go, from the absolute get-go. And then he hit a phenomenal shot, and he's back in the match, and you got to putt to win it on the last hole or something. It's amazing.
I loved it.
Amazing.
I absolutely loved it. I think that they should. I hope that they keep. Here's the thing, Mike. I don't want them to change it up in terms of it has to be Phil and Tiger still.
Okay. But what about side matches? All right, go off on this.
All right. So I think because you had the match number 1 where Phil won and beat Tiger by, again, 1 hole. Okay, that's how close these guys are.
Well, they played 22 holes that first match.
Right. And Phil won by 1 hole. So, my point being is, please don't change it from being Phil and Tiger. Okay? Mix in an amateur or two. That's fine. All right? That's absolutely fine because, again, Tiger and Phil, a wash. I think Tiger's the greatest of all time, and that's fine. And I think Phil, I don't think he's the second greatest golfer of all time, but he's right there with Tiger. You know, he can compete with Tiger. We've seen it for years, right? But what I'm saying is, don't change the match into it being, you know, the match 3 being not having Phil or Tiger. Like, get rid of Brady, get rid of Manning. That's fine, you know. But give me, like, you know, Steph Curry or somebody else. You know what I mean? Or give me, you know, basketball players this time, if you will. Give me hockey players this time. You know what I mean? Like, let's, or even like guys like, see, I don't even think you can put golfers in it because you have to have a pro and an amateur.
Yeah, dude, I love that format.
And that's what makes it even more, you know, real and more fun and more relatable to the people. And I obviously know that Brady wasn't trying to lose because that's not the kind of guy he is. He's wild. He wants to win all the time. But bring me Phil and Tiger versus, you know, or paired with some amateurs who are professional athletes from other sports that will make it even better. And I think there's something to be said, Mike, about watching guys who kind of, you know, aren't great at golf because it's relatable. You know, it's just a relatable thing. Like, you can be so dominant in one sport, but then when you get on the golf course, all bets are off.
Yeah, no, that's definitely right. I'm kind of curious though to see what 2 dudes from another sport could pull the way Brady and Peyton can right now. I don't think there's
That's a good question. I like this question.
I don't think there's any 2 guys in sports right now that could stir the hype like that. I think we might have to run it back again next year.
I'm down with that. But I don't want them to switch teams though.
No.
I want them to stay the same.
It has to be the same. Because I know Peyton, you know, Peyton escaped with the win, but that dude, he struggled on the greens. I really loved seeing Tiger give him perfect reads for like 16, 17 holes straight, and then Peyton just like miss everything. And then on the 17th, it was like, I think I started noticing it on like 16 or something, but I'm pretty sure it was the 17th hole. And they could have like made a putt to make like 18 or to make 18 to win the thing. I think to win the thing on 17. And Tiger gave him a read that he thought that Peyton was gonna miss. I was studying, like as I was watching, I was studying all the reads on the green, all the, you know, and the advice, and I knew that Peyton was missing on the reads that Tiger was giving him. So Tiger gave him a read, not thinking that Peyton was going to miss on the read, and Peyton showed up in the clutch, and he hit it square on Tiger's read and missed the putt because Tiger was playing for his miss to make the putt. It was incredible. Right. You know, if you're a fan of casual golf, if you're a casual fan of golf, you will love this. You love the match. And if you are super into the game of golf, you will love the match because it's goats versus ghosts.
It's phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Like, I don't want to see, like, you know, Tiger and Phil with, you know, Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth. Like, I don't want to see that. That's not the match. like it's a pro am, right? Although I will say somebody I would nominate, Mike.
Yes.
And you're gonna give me the other side, okay? I'm gonna nominate one guy.
Okay.
Okay. From a different sport, obviously, than golf. I want to see Romo. He's a really good golfer.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say somebody like potentially like Jordan out there, like Jordan and Tiger.
Give me Tiger and Jordan. Can you imagine Phil and Romo versus that? That's the match that I would love to see.
Yeah, or like Jordan, or like Phil and Karl Malone or something, or like or not.
We cancel Karl Malone. Everybody's out of Karl Malone.
All right. Well, who's another good matchup? So we got Romo, we got Jordan.
Or here's the other hand, Mike. Do you go so good or so bad?
I don't know. Like, here was one I was thinking of. What if you had Tiger and Phil, and then since Phil has longer hair than Tiger, Phil gets to play with Keanu Reeves. And then Tiger Woods, since he doesn't have hair, he gets to play with Vin Diesel. Would you watch it?
Oh yeah. I tune into anything Keanu Reeves.
I think that would be so funny.
You know what we're actually losing out on was how goddamn funny it would be if it was Tiger Woods and somebody, and then Phil Mickelson and Will Smith.
Yeah,
like,
you know.
If we had some Will Smith, and then maybe like Martin Lawrence is playing with Tiger Woods.
that'd be good. You know, it'd be good for us. It'd be Tiger and Will Smith versus Phil and Lil Wayne.
Ooh, yeah. But Lil Wayne's he's too small. He can't hit the long ball, dude.
Well, you know, golf has always, you know, you could be short and hit the ball a long way.
I know this very well. But no, I just think that they're gonna have to redo it for next year and figure it out. And I'm gonna tune in for the match 3.
Bro, honestly, they should run it back like at the end of the summer. Just run it back again.
Fine. I'm okay. Brady has more time to play golf because we're not sure if the NFL is going to come back, and he had more time to work on his game. And then him and Peyton just go one-on-one.
Right. New venue. Yes, yeah. I need like football ring toss. Like if the match had football ring toss while it was going on, would have been sick. But
I would love to see actually Russell Wilson play some golf.
Oh my God, yeah, he was even on the broadcast too because he was donating. So much donation going on.
Watt?
Yeah, I could see JJ Watt versus Russell Wilson. That would be pretty sick.
That would be pretty good.
I'd go for that. Yeah, I would definitely go for that. You know,
Patrick Mahomes versus Russell Wilson. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, also okay with that. I'd go for. You know, I'd even go. Would be a good match next year because especially if Drew Brees retires next year, Drew Brees versus Romo.
Ooh, okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah, we're cooking right now.
Yeah, because that would be great because Romo is a great. You know, I actually really love Romo as an announcer. People hate on him, but I really do love him.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to read defenses. Yeah. Oh, they're in cover 2 right now. They're going to go on the play. And then the next play, whoa, Jim. Like he knows what's going on. So imagine him being on the golf course, being like, all right, Jim, what if I hit this shot within 4 feet?
Yeah, dude. It'd be sick, dude. It really would. It would. I could go for so many different types of matchups. Like Oh man,
Brady's never gonna play again, by the way, on this kind of match because he got embarrassed in terms of he was the worst golfer of the foursome,
and he rips his pants.
Not do well when he's the worst of anything.
You know, Tom probably went home and you know, Giselle probably coached him through the wardrobe malfunction. You know, she probably had a metaphor for him.
Split pants, dude. We gotta talk about that. By the way, you dunk a shot, and then as you're picking up the ball, your pants split. The only spin zone I have for Tom Brady right there is that it was a new brand of Under Armour underwear that he wanted to put out there,
right,
for the people.
Imagine if he split his pants and then like on the picture it's just like a TB12 logo.
Right. right. That would have been unbelievable marketing, and you know what the problem is? I would have knew it was fake, but that just happened, man. Like, he split his pants, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was the best.
I listen. He's my GOAT. He's the best quarterback of all time. I love him to death, but he's human, man. And I think that's one of the best. That's one of the best things that came out of the match was the fact that Tom Brady's human. Okay, he's not great at everything, and Peyton Manning is still funnier than him.
Correct. I mean, Peyton. Okay, I'm glad you admit that because Peyton is a freaking comedian.
Oh, great stuff from Peyton.
Everything out of his mouth, even the stuff he muttered to himself when he hit bad shots, was hilarious. Peyton Manning, amazing.
And Mike,
those intros were sick too with Sam Jackson when he's like Peyton, he's been in more commercials than I've been in movies, and that's a lot.
Right.
Like, it's nuts, bro. I absolutely love it.
Like, before we get off the match, I got one thing to say.
Yes.
What I realized, but I didn't realize this, okay, was Peyton was definitely trolling Tom, you know, saying, let me call Eli to close this out or whatever he was talking about Eli, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom said multiple times in the match, it's not even just once, he said it multiple times in the match, that the two Giants wins against Brady don't bother him.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how much it's crazy how much it makes sense though. It makes sense though because he literally had his best game.
I mean, he threw for over 500 yards and set all the records, and the Eagles still won.
Right, because football is a team game. It's a team game.
But deservedly so. So I gotta give your Eagles your shine here.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
A lot about the Patriots on this podcast.
Oh yeah, dude. Here's one.
But I gotta give your Eagles your shine.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, let me ask you.
Streams, dude. You could tell.
Oh, you could absolutely tell that Tom.
Don't tell me about the Eagles.
You know, it's probably the thing that's motivating him right now.
Right. To just keep going forward, be like, dude, I threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl and I lost.
545, I believe, is something like that.
Yeah. What is going on?
Nuts.
Like, you know. So I gotta give your Eagles your shine.
Well, thank you, dude. I think the Eagles are doing the right thing. And if you don't think the Eagles are fully behind Wentz, like, you're bugging. I think Hurts is.
Out of your mind.
I think Hurts is going to be fine. I think this is going to be a good year for them. And I don't know if you saw, because this leads into another hypothetical match that I would like. And that hypothetical match I want you to speak on is Stephen A. Smith versus Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless said something the other day about Eagles' new draft pick, Jalen Reagor. And he said that the Eagles, like, misfired on him, and that, like, he's not going to be good. I don't know what the exact quote was, but he said some shit about Rager without even like really knowing anything about him. And this Rager,
what position?
he's wide. He's like a slot wide receiver. He's
right. Okay.
Rager is going to be good. And you know, this is the Coldest Takes podcast, so and you know, I am an Eagles fan, but I don't care. Jalen Rager is going to be in the running next year for Rookie of the Year. Why? Because the Eagles have no weapons, but next to Ertz and Miles Sanders.
Here's the thing. Statistically, though, your Eagles, Mike, have the fastest wide receiving core in the league by average.
Yeah, it's crazy. They got the worst hands.
And Wentz has the arm to get them the ball.
Yeah, he's an absolute cannon.
Right. Like, anybody who says that Carson Wentz cannot throw the ball down the field, you have not been watching. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, the shit is absolutely magical.
Right. He's got an absolute cannon for now.
And
he's everything the Detroit Lions wanted out of Matthew Stafford, but with a better team.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. And there's like so much science behind the shit that they do. Even on the fly to be able to process. Like imagine being down on the goal line. It's like 3rd and goal. You're at the 3, and you're running a play fake pass, and then the line's collapsing. I believe he was playing the Vikings, and because this is specific. And he avoids the rush, steps up, and like floats one over, and it's like bro, like how do you just process that so fast?
Right, and that's within 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's
like in under.
Yeah, it's nuts, bro. It's nuts, and I think that's what you're hoping for this year out of Jarrett.
Listen, so I was texting my buddies out today. Actually, it's funny you bring that up because I was texting my buddies out here today, and I said I got down a rabbit hole of watching Jarrett Stidham's what was it? College highlights, and then also the preseason highlights from last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because listen. As a Pats fan, how are you going to fill a 20-year hole? Right? It's unprecedented. Most teams replace a quarterback within 5 to 8 years, right? I got a 20-year gap here.
Yeah, it's nuts.
As a Pats fan. So, I'm replacing the GOAT. So, I'm looking at his highlights. I'm thinking they're great. And I said, I think this guy's going to be great. I think this guy's going to be nice. And I'm predicting this, Mike. This is a Cold Takes podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
Patriots win the division this year.
I can see it. I can see them either winning the division or going 2-14, but all 14 games that they lose by a combined 14 points.
Right. And that's how it's going to be. And you know what I'm going to say on this podcast 9-10 months from now, whenever that happens? If Stidham wins and they get it, you know, and they get the even the wild card, I'll be fine with that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're either going to win the division or not make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get the wild card. I think it's I don't believe in the Bills ever. I just don't. So Josh Allen, I know they were a wild card team last year. Whatever, fine, fuck it, I don't care. I don't really believe in them. I don't think they got any better in the offseason. Stephon Diggs, sure. All right, you want to throw a long ball? That's great. John Ross plays on the Ravens. That didn't help Lamar Jackson win the MVP. So, all right. What did he catch? Like 16 balls? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like Stephon Diggs is the rich man's John Ross. So I'm all set on him being signed with the Bills. I don't think they're going to do well. But what I'm saying is the Pats are going to win the division basically on the strength of their defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Fine with saying that. But the other thing I'm saying is it's either going to be, well, we got rid of Brady too soon, or in Bill we trust. And that's a hard thing that Pats fans are going to have to, kind of wrap around their heads.
Right, and we'll definitely find that out. Hopefully, if we get the NFL back, which we think we will. John, I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you one more question, and then I gotta get out of here because it's getting late and gotta wrap it up. But my last question, and I just want your thoughts on this, is the NHL is coming back, 24 team playoff.
Yes.
Okay, the top seeds from each division get a bye in the first round, and then those first round games or whatever, they're 5-game series. Okay, 24 teams in the playoffs. All those specs I just threw. What do you think? You are our hockey man. You know the game better than anyone else. What do you think?
So here's my thoughts. So the way that they're proposing that they're going to do this playoffs means that they're going to do a best of 5-game series between the top 4 seeds. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In order to determine the seeding, which pisses me off.
Okay. Yeah, that's a wrinkle.
Because that means that the Bruins, who are the only team in the NHL this year to get 100 points, the only one, they won the President's Trophy, which is, for people who don't know, the President's Trophy doesn't mean shit.
But how many games to spare was in the season?
10.
Okay. So
10,
think about
10
that.
to 12 for most.
Think about that. That's crazy. We had a good season.
So what they're saying is that the Bruins, because of this new seeding, now have to do a 5-game series against the 4 seed, which I believe to be the Capitals. I'm not positive on that. But I don't want to go play Ovechkin for a 5-game series because that's what hockey is how quickly you can lose a series in whatever. So then the Bruins have to be the 4 seed, and then they have to play harder teams. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think they should just go 1 through 24. If that's the proposal, you're ranked the best, and the Bruins get to play the winner of the 8-9 seed. And I think that's how the hockey playoffs should actually, be played. And I know it's a weird time and all that bullshit, but the Bruins were the best team. And
gotta treat them like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you should, say, oh, well, the top 4 teams on each conference have to play each other for seeding. That's stupid. That's really stupid. No, the top team gets the best draw, and then you move it down from there, and then let the playoffs play out. Because it's hockey. It's not basketball. It's not any other sport. I mean, an 8 seed like the LA Kings, when they did a couple of years ago, can win the Stanley Cup. And that's fine. So just let the seeding go as it is.
Shout out to UMass.
Shout out to UMass. Johnny King, baby. Johnny Quick, sorry, at the Kings. But I don't like that, man. Let the top seed be the top seed. I also believe that Pasternak would have absolutely dethroned Ovechkin for most goals this year.
Oh, okay. Here's matchup. Ovechkin versus Crosby. That'd be a good one. I'd watch it.
On the match?
On the match. To go back to the golf coverage. I'm sorry. It just came when you said
Here's the problem. Ovechkin stinks at speaking English. He only loves to speak Russian. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. And no, he said that in interviews, being like, I don't like speaking English.
Oh, shoot.
Like he's like, I'd rather speak Russian. You guys can translate. That's actually a quote from him.
Damn. All right, well, maybe not.
And Crosby has kind of like turned more because he's, Canadian, and he's like, all right, I get it. Like, this is where the media's at, and blah, blah, blah. But Ovechkin doesn't care. And Ovechkin is the greatest player I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. Hands down. Besides Gretzky, but I was too young for that. But,
wow.
Whatever.
Well, I'm sorry to make you digress from the playoffs.
But the point being is, I want NHL playoffs back. I want it so bad because I believe that it's the best playoffs in sports. So people can, people can say it's not. That's fine. But you think the NBA playoffs or anything that they're going to do is going to be as good as the NHL playoffs? You're out of your mind.
It's gonna be it. Right. Let me think. Let me throw this one at you though. Yes, I do agree with you that the hockey is gonna be super exhilarating and exciting, but I'm so hyped to just hear the sounds with nobody there, just to hear the ball bouncing on the court, like the different sneakers squeaking. I want to hear the skates on the ice, the stopping, the starting, the puck hitting the boards, the bodies hitting the boards. I need it.
Yeah. No, I don't care if you bleep it out because they definitely swear all the time, and that's fine. I don't care about that. Put it on, MATV, all right? Put it on HBO. I don't care. What I'm saying is we need that back. As a society, we need that back. Like TNT, all right, if you want the NBA playoffs and where they're talking all of the shit to each other, I need to hear that. All right? I'll pay premium for that. I don't care.
Yeah, dude, I feel that.
Make it that way. Because you're right, Mike. That's going to be encapsulated. Like James Harden be like, hey, fuck you, Kawhi. Here's a 3 in your face. And he just does it. That's awesome.
No, it's going to be cool. Awesome. It's going to be cool, I think. I'm going to enjoy it.
So I need that back. I need all of it back together. I just can't do it, dude. I'm dying with that sports here.
Yeah, seriously, dude. The world needs it. We all need it. John, I gotta ask you this one though. To cover our bases on all the things here, John.
Yes.
Thoughts on the Colorado Avalanche's new uniforms? It was released like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But I thought of it when you were talking about hockey, and I remembered that we didn't talk about uniforms on today's podcast. So
that's right.
Thoughts? They came out with a new. It's like light blue. They put like the old logo in the middle.
Yep.
How do we feel about it?
So the old Colorado Avalanche. First of all, it's not even the old Colorado Avalanche for people who are hockey fans because they're the Quebec Nordiques.
That's my guy right there.
That's where you like people who are like, oh, it's the old Colorado Avalanche. No, like they were the Quebec Nordiques.
What up, Canada?
out of Quebec City. They were done. And the Quebec Nordiques had an unbelievable logo.
That sounds like it's unbelievable name.
Right. Quebec Nordiques. Are you kidding me? What a franchise.
I want to be like, that's a sick team name.
Right. And then they got the Avalanche that saw Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg and Ray Bork, who.
Right. The logo that you donned as a child.
Right. As a child, yes. And I understand them throwing it back to some kind of throwback, but Mike, McCarr, he's so good.
Right, dude. He's gonna look good in that New Jersey.
He's gonna win all right, over under. How many Norris trophies as best defenseman in the league does Cale McCarr win?
All of them, bro.
I say over 3.
Oh yeah, dude. I think
I'm setting the bar at 3.
Bro, Cale's what, like 20? And
21.
Okay, yeah. And if he's 21, he'd like just turned 21. So the dude's gonna be in the league for a while. I can see over 3. Bro, honestly, I love the Bruins. I don't know hockey as much as you, but when it comes to hockey, I love the Bruins and I love UMass. But because of these things, now I'm following these UMass dudes around the NHL, and UMass has somewhat come up in a way. Like, they have some good athletes that are in the NHL. You got Jonathan Quick, won the Stanley Cup. Cale McCarr,
two.
Right, won 2 Stanley Cups. 2 Stanley Cups. And you got Cale McCarr. What is the Hobie Baker Award? He won the Hobie Baker Award in college. And when he gets another chance to play in the NHL, he's going to be winning these Norris trophies. I can see that. Right. And then they got another dude. So de facto, we're all de facto fans of Colorado. And then another de facto team that I may become a fan of, where I learned of their alternate. Like, the first time I ever heard someone call it the Shark Tank was from you, John.
Yes.
And
thank you for bringing that up.
And I got to go with Del Grazio, who's on the Sharks.
Yep, and Justin Braun, also from UMass, plays on the Sharks. Very good player. Solid defenseman. And it seems like the Sharks just keep getting UMass picks, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and look at Amherst, where they're the best players in the country. And I love that shine. To actually, where people are actually appreciating how good UMass hockey is.
Yeah, dude, like, they come hard.
It's so good. It's unbelievable. Leonard is going to get
drafted. I was just going to say that, dude. Like, how hype is it that our boy Johnny Leonard is going to get drafted? A local kid, absolute stud. Like, guy played amazing hockey player. Paid his dues, I would say, for UMass, and literally was carrying them this past season until it ended.
And again, we'll never see how that NCAA run would have gone. They obviously would have been in the tournament. They were that good, but it's just like UMass is on the come up, man. They're going to be as big as BC in the next 5 years. I really do believe that. And, as big as any of these other hockey schools. And I'm so glad to see it, dude, because they play in the hardest division of all of hockey. Hockey East is the hardest division in all of hockey. And if you don't think that, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, you got to go watch a few games, bro. Like, that's what it is.
Games. Get yourself on the Jumbotron like my boy Mike while you're eating some chicken tenders. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, shout out that UMass dining.
That's Right.
Love to see it. Dude, I gotta find my way to more of these Hockey East arenas though. Like I want to see a game like in Providence or something. Like that'd be cool.
Like I was so upset with they just had
because I've been to Maine.
They released the UMass dining rankings.
Yeah, I sent it to my girlfriend for her to fill out.
Yeah, they released that to no. I'm so upset about it.
Why?
I'm very upset about
Why?
it. Because they have the Newman Cafe against Berkshire. Burke.
Yeah.
They've been to Burke.
Yeah, everybody.
You know
yeah.
how dope it is. And that's the 16-1 seed? No. These people who did this were idiots. I'm very upset with the way they seeded that. But I've made my picks. I've thrown it out on Twitter for everybody.
And I'm here for it, dude.
And we'll see what happens. But Mike, we're gonna sign off here.
Wait. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Wait a minute. You made me remember something because you tweeted something out that you said you wanted to talk about, and I don't think we got to talk about it, dude.
Yes. What was that?
It was cold showers, dude.
Oh, god damn it. All right. So this is really gonna bother me.
Take us home, John.
Okay. I'm gonna take you home with this. All right.
Don't leave anything out, dude.
Any goddamn person who thinks that you should take a warm shower in a warm climate, you're a psychopath. You're an absolute psychopath. Because you know what's the worst thing about getting out of the shower? Sweating immediately after you get out of the shower. Right?
Yeah, for real.
Like the whole point of getting out of the shower is to be clean and
refreshed.
And refreshed. Exactly. But if you decide that you're just going to take a warm shower in a climate, dude, it was 92 degrees here today. You think I'm going to take a warm shower after that?
No, there's no way, bro. You gotta get the day. You gotta get the day off you. All that grime. You gotta step out feeling fresh.
Right. That's like stepping out of the shower and then realizing you gotta go poop. Like
the absolute worst.
You might as well start your day.
Yeah.
Start over. You lost. Figure it out. Toss it back in. Take another shot. Right? Terrible way to start your day. That's exactly how it feels when you take a warm shower in a warm climate. And I was getting heat about this, Mike. Like, people were like, oh, there's no way. No, I always take a warm shower. Blah, blah, because that's how you get it. No, that's not how it works. No. To colder. I'm not saying put it on 30 degrees in the shower and decide that, I'm going to rub a bar of soap and just jump in and out. I'm saying make that colder, okay?
Yeah, progressive.
Cold shower, all right? Put your bar of soap on and everything. Get yourself refreshed and get out of the shower and kind of, throw your hair back, rub your face, be like, all right, here. Make it a little colder because that's more refreshing than being in a sauna in a heat wave. It's exactly like people are like, oh, this is the problem. People who actually say that they like that, they want sauna in a heat wave. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You're an idiot, and I made my points. On Twitter and all that. I hate people who are like that. Like, why would you want a hot shower on a hot day? That sounds horrible. It sounds like a death wish, right? Wouldn't you want a little more cool? Like, okay, would you want to dive into a pool that's 90 degrees just to bring it all back to what we talked about in the beginning? Wouldn't you want, like, if you dove into my pool, Mike, and it was 90 degrees, you'd be like, well, this is not refreshing.
Yeah, I'd be like, wow, man. What do you mean? Yeah. It's like, oh, why did I even come here?
Right. Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So
not
what
that
are we
mean.
talking about here?
No, you're absolutely right, John.
I hate it. So people who say that they're out of their mind. Who are like, oh yeah, no. I always have to have a hot shower. Well, fine, have your hot shower, and you don't even like pools. Like, sick. Have fun in your hot tub. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude. Dude,
dive in a pool to get refreshed.
Right. Exactly.
That's why. Like, again, I'm not saying put it on 0 degrees. I'm saying put it on a little bit colder so you get a little more
right, dude.
That's like cold take.
Right. We're not telling you to like try to be a hero and put the shower dial on freezing cold and then step in. Right. We're telling you to have a shower, get clean, because because it's proven that you're gonna get more clean with warmer water. That's why you use warm water. But don't go get in the shower and put on scalding hot shower for the whole time, and it's 95 degrees out. Like, and then you're gonna step out and sweat, and then you're gonna be stinky again in 3 seconds. Like, get in the shower, do your thing, and then progressively.
Sweating, like you've done it. I've done it. Walk out of a shower and then all of a sudden you're sweating again. Might as well, again.
Get back in the shower. Yeah. No, dude, 1,000%, it's happened.
It's so stupid. People who don't have that take. What do they say now? What's the kids that simps? They're simple people.
Maybe. I don't know, man. It's something else, dude. It's something else. It's like, dude, do you only
just dumb.
Dude, I don't understand. Like, if your body is overheating, if your body's hot,
right?
Like, if your body's hot and you need to get clean, like, let's say you just got back from a 10-mile bike ride or something like that, and you're a little hot, a little sticky, you're done, you're gonna take a shower, and I'm not gonna go put on. I'm not, I step in the shower, it feels hot on my hot. Like, that's not cool.
Right. And Mike, as a guy who gets sunburned all the time, like literally by stepping outside, even when I put 45, sunscreen on me, like, no, I want a colder shower. It's more refreshing.
That's right.
I'm not saying I'm standing underneath it like a psychopath either.
No.
I'm saying you hop in and out a little bit, you get yourself clean, and you feel refreshed after because, it's cool on your skin.
Right. Sort of like this podcast, because it's so cool on your ears.
Goddamn cold.
Right? It's so cold, bro.
What do we got?
Yo, it's at Coldest of Takes. Podcast available everywhere. Occasional live streams on YouTube, occasional random podcasts here and there. More fun stuff coming ASAP. Whenever we can all pods will come out. Content will be available. We're having fun. We're improvising. We're talking sports. We're talking life. We're talking it all. But we're here refreshing you at the Coldest of Takes podcast. So thank you guys for listening. John, I loved this conversation tonight, bro. It was a hell of a good one.
Love you, buddy. We had a great one. Obviously, and we're going to keep bringing more to the listeners. Also, you know what? It might be nice for some people in this world right now. Just take a cold shower, man.
Hey.
And remember that it ain't that serious. You're going to get a little refreshed. Might be a little nicer. You might be a little more accepting of everything else. And I think it'd be great. John J. Pat on all platforms. Coldest Takes on all platforms as well. And Mike, take us away.
That's right, dude. At John J. Pat, at st_Katzer. like John said, dude, take a cold shower. While you're in that shower, throw on the Coldest of Takes podcast because it's available everywhere and it's fun to listen to. All right? Love you guys.
Hell yeah. Love you guys.
Peace.
Bye. What's up, bud?
Bro, I just wanted to call you and tell you that was fucking awesome.
Dude, I thought it was a really great podcast.
Yeah, it was a hell of a good pod, and I just wanted to say, dude, it was a pleasure talking to you tonight, and I just hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and I'm looking forward to the next one.